You just see you see both sides. Like you see good parts of it, and then you see the power and control part of it. Because when you're in the military and you're working for the government, there's people who have certain positions that they just they get into a position of power and they just fucking run with it and do what I say and shut the fuck up type of mentality. And it's like that's the bullshit, I think. And I think there's a lot of that in the government, and we've seen that specifically with the government as a whole during the COVID pandemic when we literally I got out. I was so lucky. I got out right before they were literally forcing people in the military to get the vaccine that wasn't
Mm.
even fully developed yet. Um, and they were kicking people out that didn't get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to sign a
And
contract.
you were a bad person. You were, and weren't you? If you didn't get it, would you get like
They'd kick you out.
dishonorably
Yeah,
discharged? Yeah, so it wasn't even like, yeah,
dishonorable.
you're out. It was,
Yep,
yeah, it was which is crazy. That's like your whole fucking life and career. Man, that's
it's
wild,
on your
isn't it?
record.
Isn't
Yeah,
it wild thinking back to that time and how if you didn't get vaccinated, you wanted to kill my grandma. Like that was kind of that was like the yarn,
and
the
it
yarn was like,
wasn't just the
hey,
military. It was the entire U.S. medical um system as well. Uh,
yeah,
that like doctors, nurses that had that same mentality. Like this isn't even research yet. Like there's not enough testing. Like what's like the valid
what's the
stuff?
efficacy
Yeah,
data? Yeah, like
yeah.
it was, yeah, I mean, that level of psyop. So you had like a multi nine figure, so a multi $100 billion psyop where the technology that was utilized was funded by governments. It was then whipped into this high margin product that was mandated, brought at scale with taxpayer dollars, with baked in immunity from any downstream negative outcomes for the companies. Like when you like, I'm a business person and I've been an evil business person at times. I've done some of those fucking deals that are not the fairest, but put cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
And when I think about an evil hot, but like if I put my evil business person hat on and I look at it mechanically from like the structural from a structural perspective of like how to set up the deal of a century or the deal of a millennium,
Mm-hmm.
like it was the deal of the millennium. It's like mental how commercially effective what was set up was, and then yeah, and then you had like the media in on it, and then like you track the media ownership levels back, and it's like, oh, the same money and investment like stratas that control the media, control the pharmaceutical
Mm-hmm.
companies,
Mm-hmm.
and it all comes together. But the way that it washed through society was mesmerizing. I have like a interesting personal story. I have a lot of regrets during that phase. Like
Mm.
I'm personally I got one. So I'm like I got one. And in New Zealand that meant you're not fully vaccinated.
Oh, you got
And
one
I
shot.
I got one shot. So it was an interesting thing for me because you needed two to be fully
Fully.
vaccinated.
Yeah.
And so you had like I don't even want to call them anti-vax because that's not fair. You had like sane individuals, in my view, that have been proven correct today that were like unvaxxed, and then you had like the fully vaxxed, and then there was like me
Oh
in the
yeah.
middle. And like I wasn't legal and like fully vaccinated, so I couldn't fit in that crowd. But I also was like not unvaccinated. So I was like, funnily enough, in this fucking weird, unique middle position. Anyway, I made the decision. I went like, okay, what's the risk profile? And my family had been Uh, and I don't even blame them. Like, my mum and dad watch the news every day, and something like this hadn't really rolled through society before. And it was like gonna basically destroy Christmas. Like, oh, you're not vaccinated, it's not safe, da da da. Can't you just do it? All the things. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck it, I'm gonna get one and shut everyone up. Like, all good, whatever.
Like
I
I
don't
got one. I
want to
got
do it.
one.
I got one. We're done. Like, all good. I did the one. And then it was pretty soon after that that more studies started to come through. And then because I was unvaccinated, I could get rat tests for free and no one else could get them. And so that point
Mm.
I was like safer. Anyway, it was this whole thing. So I have a lot of regrets there around how strongly I pushed it. One thing I was proud of myself for is I with my family, I was just like with my niece and nephew. Not that my family planned to like vaccinate their kids anyway, like they weren't going to do it anyway, but that was something that we were like clear on, like there's the line, that. And I
Mm.
was I was stoked about that because there's stories in New Zealand where children would go to school and their parents had said no on the form, and then the kids would get like a $20 like tuck shop voucher if they got vaccinated. So like the teachers are bribing students to get this medical
They had
intervention
a
that's untested
yeah
against the will of the parents. And like
an incentive.
that's a true
Yeah,
story. And
incentivized.
it like it put like you put all of those words together in one sentence and you start losing your mind. You're like, no, that didn't happen. You know? um,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think what's even worse is the it's funny, I didn't think we would get into politics in this spot.
yeah.
But
I know. Here we are. Sorry,
but
it's not the most like algorithm friendly content, is it?
hello everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode clip about how the world changed after COVID and our discussion about how we felt about this time that was troubling for everyone. If you like this episode, all I ask for you is to subscribe and share with somebody, whoever. That's it. And as always, stay curious. Never, ever give up on your dreams, your ambitions, or anything you're striving for. And until next time, peace.